Hello students, dealing with the topic of national income, till now we have seen about the factor income and normal resident. Now we will see the concept of domestic territory. Domestic territory is important because for calculating the national income, firstly we calculate our domestic income, okay, and from there we shift to the national income. So for that domestic territory is important to understand. So what is domestic territory? In general terms, it refers to political territory, but in economics, it is the economic territory of the country. So when we study about our own territory, that till where we are having our right, so we normally focus on the political boundaries of our country. But when we talk in economic terms, so students, we take all those areas where we are having our economic activities, and if that economic activity is related to our country, so that will be included in our domestic territory. Okay, let us understand with some points that which points are included in our domestic territory. Political frontier and territorial water. So normally till where we are having our political frontier, political boundaries, and the area in sea where we are having our political rights, that will be included in our domestic territory. Second, ship and aircraft operated by our companies abroad. It means that if there is any aeroplane which is flying from China to Singapore, okay, but that aeroplane is of Air India, and Air India is a company operated by us Indians. So if the aeroplane, even though it is flying in abroad countries, but since that is our company, it is operated by us, so that will also be included in the domestic territory of India. Third, embassies or military establishment in other country. So we have already seen in normal resident also, same here, that if we are having embassies in other countries, so that embassy, whatever income they will generate, whatever activity they will do, that will also be the part of our domestic territory, even though that is situated in other countries. Same here with military establishment. If our military establishes its camp in other countries for training purpose, so that will also be included in our domestic territory. Fishing vessels, oil and natural gas, anything that whichever activity in waterway, even though if it is an international waterway, okay, so if these are also performed by our country and these are operated by us, so this will also be included in the domestic territory of our country. So with these points, it makes clear that what all are things we are going to include in our domestic territory, even though these are lying outside the political boundaries of our country. Now we will see how do we calculate the national income from domestic income. See, whatever income is generated in our domestic territory, this will be equal to domestic income. Okay, we will add all this, whichever income is given by all these activities, we will reach to the domestic income. But when we find the domestic income, initially we see that our domestic income includes factor income earned by non-resident in our domestic territory. It means that there are many foreigners living in our country, okay, in our domestic territory, but they are not normal resident, they are non-resident. But when we see that what our domestic income, that in our domestic income, that income is also included initially. So we have to not consider this, okay, we have to not consider this, because this is the income which is earned by the non-residents, and we will only include those income which is earned by the normal resident, that also that we have seen in the meaning also, meaning of national income. So since while calculating the domestic income, initially at first this is also included. Okay, when we calculate for India, then we calculate the income of all the resident, where they are normal or non-resident. So what we need to do, we will have to, since it is already included, so we will have to exclude this. Okay, so from domestic income we will subtract this, we have to remove this. Okay, why? Because this is the income which is earned by the non-residents. Now, while calculating the domestic income, we see that the income which was earned by the normal residents, our residents abroad in other countries, that we have not included. Okay, this is not included initially. So what we will have to do is that, since this is earned by our resident, normal resident, so we need to include this, then only we can come to the final income of our country. So we will have to include this. Okay, we will have to make it included. So to include this, we will need to add this. Okay, so in domestic income, how we will find? By adding all these incomes. So in domestic income, we will have to subtract the factor income earned by non-residents in our domestic territory, and we will have to add the factor income earned by our residents from rest of the world. This is also known as NFIA, net factor income from abroad. And we will, when we will perform this activity, then we will get the national income, the total value of our national income. Okay students, so this is the way how we can convert the domestic income to national income. Okay students, now we will move to the concept of gross and net, market price and factor cost. So first let's see gross and net. We have already seen in gross investment and net investment that gross investment includes all the values, whether it is actual investment done for acquiring new assets or the value of replacement cost of depreciation, which means that gross value will always include depreciation. And net will not have the value of depreciation. Okay, it is without depreciation. So with this we come to know that the main point of difference between gross and net is depreciation. Okay, so we know that domestic product or income, domestic product and income can be written as same. It means that domestic product is equal to domestic income. Why? Because all the production that takes place in the domestic territory, that is only equal to the income. Okay, that will be only sold out in the market, distributed in the market, which will ultimately generate the income. So we can write it same, and it is measured in either gross domestic product in gross value or net domestic product net value. Okay, so whatever it is given, we will firstly calculate all the factor incomes of our domestic territory, then we will reach to domestic income. Okay, or we can reach to national income by adding the net factor income from abroad that we have seen in earlier class. So whether it will be gross or net, we can easily convert the one unit to other. How? We know that the point of difference is depreciation, so only depreciation we have to adjust. If gross is given to us, so gross already includes depreciation, we know. So from gross, if we subtract depreciation, we will reach to the net value. Same here, net is given, and in net we know that depreciation is not included. So in net, when we will add the depreciation, we will reach to gross. Okay, so here a formula is made. If GDP is given, so you can subtract the depreciation and we will get the net domestic product, the net value, not the gross. Why? Because we have subtracted the depreciation. Same here, if NDP is given, net value is given, so we will add the depreciation to get the gross value. Okay, or the GDP. So this was about the gross and net and how we can convert it. The next concept is about the market price and factor cost. Market price, students, see our domestic product, as we have calculated in gross and net, it also includes market price and factor cost. Factor cost is simply the actual cost that occurred while producing the goods. Okay, the factor cost that we have seen. Market price, market price, it includes the taxes. Okay, it means that whenever goods are produced and brought to the market, those are not sold at the actual factor cost, but government imposes some indirect taxes in them, and that becomes the market price of the good. So either it will be calculated in market price or factor cost. Now, along with the imposing tax, indirect tax, government also provides subsidies to the producers. Subsidies are the special discounts provided by the government to the producers. Okay, these are special discounts. So on one hand, where indirect tax increases the price of commodity, on the second hand, subsidies, this lowers the price of commodity. Why? Because discount is provided to producer, so less cost will be incurred. So less cost will be incurred, so price of the commodity will be also less. But indirect tax increases the price. So we need to make an adjustment here, okay? Whenever we find the value of our product, domestic product, we need to adjust this, okay? So we find the net indirect tax. Net indirect tax can be found by indirect tax minus subsidy. When we will subtract subsidy from indirect tax, then we will reach to the net indirect tax. And this net indirect tax we can easily use for the conversions. If we are given GDP at MP, market price, okay, so market price is already having tax, so we will minus net indirect tax. Okay, net indirect tax means subsidy has also been adjusted. If in question subsidy is not given, only indirect tax is given, so no problem, GDP at MP minus indirect tax we will do, and we will reach to GDP at FC, factor cost. Same here, if we are given GDP at FC, okay, factor cost, so we will just add net indirect tax and we can come to GDP MP, gross domestic product at market price. So whatever we need to find, first we will do the adjustments and we will apply that in formula. So students, this was the way how we can reach to the domestic product and national product. Thank you students.